All right, guys. Hello, how are you guys doing? So, we are back for today's class, and today we'll be looking at JavaScript objects. So you can see, I believe you can see my screen, and you can see my editor right now. Okay, so you can use any editor of your choice. What matters is that you replicate what I'm doing right now, and you get your results. All right. So let's move in and start right now. Cool. Okay, so we're here again. Um, we are treating JavaScript objects. What exactly are objects in JavaScript? So, an object is a container that stores related data and actions together. So, take note of this. It stores related data and actions, not just data, but data and actions. So, there are two factors that an object contains. An object contains properties and an object has actions. Please, you have to take note of these two aspects of an object. Like I mentioned, an object is like a container that stores objects that are related. They have related data and related actions. For instance, let's say we have an object of cars. Okay, an object of cars represents, let's say, a container that contains cars. Okay, so this container would have some properties of the kind of object it contains and some kind of actions peculiar or related to those objects. That is what it means for something to be an object in JavaScript. So it contains data, it contains objects, or it contains uh, things that have related data and actions. So an object of cars will have cars inside, and there are properties that when we look at, we'll know that these actually are properties related to cars, and there are actions that these properties can display. One of them is that, okay, a car should have like a brand name, it should have a model, it should have like four tires, four wheels, it should have a steering. These are properties. Okay, and then there are actions that we are also expecting from each of these cars. So in each of the cars in this object should have some kind of actions. One of them is that you can start them. When you click on either of the cars, any of the cars that you try to start, it should have at least a start action, and it should have a stop action, and it should also have a drive action. Drive action. So these are common actions that are unique, or that are common in this particular object of cars, right? So let's dive into JavaScript and see how we can represent objects in JavaScript and how we can explain them better. So let's say we have objects of cars, okay, or students. Let's say object of students, or should I say car? Like, let's say cars. We have cars. This is an object of cars. Okay. So let's say car one. Car one. So this is an object, and this object represents cars, right? So every object or every car should have this kind of properties that this particular car has. So one of them is that, let's say, model. You can say Toyota. Oh, sorry, can call anything. Can say wheels. Can say number of wheels. Can say four. Okay. So this is how to represent objects. When you write these curly braces, and inside these curly braces we have a pair of property and the value of these properties. Okay, so this property name is model. So you have a pair of property names and their values, and values for these properties can take any value type, any data type. It can be object, because object is also a data type in JavaScript. It can be type object, it can be type array, it can be type string, it can be type integers, anything at all, right? Anything at all within the different data types that we have in JavaScript. Okay, so we can call it anything, and then we have this. Let's say we have color. Each car should have a color. You can say the color of this car is red. Okay, so this is an object of a car. We can have different cars and different objects of. We can have car 2. So car 2 should have the same properties but possibly different values. Okay, so we can say you have different models, it can be we can say BMW or anything at all. Okay, let's say this car is BMW, and of course you have number of wheels 4, and we can call it blue. And we can have more cars, right? So what is the unique thing about this object is that they have the same properties, but the property values may differ, but they should have at least the same kind of properties. Okay, so this is what makes them objects of the same type, because they have different kind. This is an object, and this is also an object, but they are objects of the same type because they have the same kind of properties. All right, so the focus of this class today is basically to show you how to create objects. Okay, and how you can define an object, and how you can read the properties of an object, and also how you can manipulate the properties of an object. Okay, so let's say we want to know the color of car 1. So we can say var car 1 underscore color. So we want to know, we'll do car 1, that's the name of the object, dot the name of the property. Okay, dot color. This would return the value of the color property of car 1. Okay, so let's say we want to read car 2. Let's say var car 2 color. So we can change it to 2. Remember, the properties will always be the same name, but the values can be different. So let's log it out. Console.log car 1 color, and then console.log car 2 color, car 2 color. So run it. Car 1 color is red, car 2 is blue. The same way we can check model. If you want to change this to, you can also do, if you want to log out, let's say console.log, let's log out the model of car 2. And so car 2 dot model, then we'll run it. You can see BMW. Okay, so the formula is straight up. The name of the object, a full stop, we call it a dot, then the object you want to see. Let's say we want to do car2, want to know the number of wheels. So this is how we'll run it as well. Just the number of wheels returns 4. Okay. So this is where you define the properties of the object, right? And you can also change these properties. Let's say, for instance, you want to change the model of car2. Okay. Let's say we want to change it. Let's say I want to change it to Volkswagen. So I want to change it to Volkswagen. And instead of coming here to change it to Volkswagen, we can actually change it in our code. Okay. So let's log it out here. You can see it's BMW. And then let's change it. You can see when you say car2.model, this retrieves the model. Then if you want to change it, you can assign it a new value equal to Volkswagen, right? So now let's log it out again here. Notice what happened. The first one here logged it out as BMW, but after this switch, it became Volkswagen. So the second one logged it out as Volkswagen. So this is how it runs. JavaScript runs your code line after line. So it will run this first line before running the second one, then the next one, right? So when it ran this one, it checked the value of the model. It discovered that it was BMW. It continued. It displayed BMW. But after running this line changed the model to Volkswagen. So from Volkswagen now, when we now logged it out here, it became Volkswagen. This is how we can edit, update the value of objects in JavaScript, right? So you can have as many objects as you wish. Okay, you can have them as you wish. You can have 100 objects, and you can have as many properties as you want. But for you to maintain consistency, objects of the same type should have the same type of properties, but different values for each of the properties is allowed. Okay, just to maintain consistency. So we can also delete. You can also delete the. Let's say you want to have a property of an object. Let's say console or log car1 the color. Let's say you want to log out the color of car1. You can see the color of car1 is red. Okay, let's delete it. We delete it with this operator. This is called the delete operator. Once you say delete, then you give a space. You now state what you want to delete. You want to delete car1 dot color. So we want to remove it from this place. One way to delete it may be to just eliminate it here. Eliminate this here. Okay, but let's say we don't want to delete it from the beginning. We want to delete it somewhere in our code, right? So you can see when we say console or log car1 the color, and we run it, you get undefined now. So it has been removed. Okay, it has been removed. So this can come in. You have different applications for these operators: deleting properties, adding properties, updating properties. Let's say you are creating a game, and in the course of creating the game, you have an object. So the object represents, maybe let's say you have two fighters, okay, and you have an object representing the fighters, and right inside each of the objects there is they have a hand, they have two hands. Each object has two hands. Each fighter has two hands, two legs, one head. Okay, and they are of different object, just like we have car1. Car1 can be one fighter, and then let's say car2. Okay, let's say we are building a game, and then we want car1 and car2 to be in a race. Okay, so we have already declared this object as car2 and this one as car1, and they start running. Let's say we build them with HTML and they are running in the race. So somewhere in the code, let's say car2 hits car1 and want to show that car2 sustains some level of damage. We can update the number of wheel. Let's say after the hit, we want to show that, okay, when the accident happened, car2 lost one of its wheels. So we can update the number of wheels and say, okay, after the hit, you can just say car2 dot number of wheels. Let me copy here. The number of wheels equal to 3. Okay, so this is how games work, and this is how we can apply JavaScript in these different areas. So the factors and the concepts you are learning right now may not make a lot of sense to you, okay, but going forward, when we start applying them in different places, in building real-life applications, it will make a whole lot of sense, okay? So I'll just give you an assignment and I'll end today's class. So the assignment is that, okay, create any object of your choice, try to read and log out the properties of this object, delete them, and update them. Okay, so try this out. By next class, we're going to dive deeper into more advanced concept about JavaScript objects. We have methods, actions that objects can display, and we can have different values in objects. We can also have object as value of an object, of a property in an object. Okay, so we'll be diving deeper in a gradual way. So I don't want to throw the whole concept out in this class. I don't want to discuss everything in this class. It will be kind of a bit complex for me to do it for you at a single class. So we'll be taking it in bits, right? So if you have any question, please don't hesitate to drop your questions in the group, in the WhatsApp group. If you're not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group. I'll try to drop the link here in this video, and also possibly drop the link on the description of the video, or description of this video, so you can check it out and join the WhatsApp group so you can ask your questions, right? So please, we'll be having our next class, and until then, we'll be announcing our next class should be on Saturday, right? So we'll be dropping the link on the group. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and follow us on different social media platforms. All right, and also remember to share this video to different persons. Anybody you know learning JavaScript, you can share this video to them. This can help them grow faster in their career development, JavaScript career development. Okay, so until our next class, thank you so much, guys, for joining, and don't stop coding. Thank you so much.